Hey friends, welcome back to the Woolens Path. I'm Gina and Happy New Year. I am back in the United States after being in Italy for 2 weeks and it snowed. So I'm going to use this opportunity to do snow washing with some of my wools that need a little freshen up. So I have a basket here full of some knits that need to be washed. And I'm gonna give it a try. I've never done wool washing before, so we're gonna see how it goes. I know it's a technique that is still being used to this day in areas that get more snow. And since we haven't been getting a lot of snow where I live, I'm gonna take this opportunity to finally try it out after years of wanting to do this. So I'm gonna walk you through the process of washing these knits. As you can see, our resident cats have been walking around in the backyard, but I'm gonna lay these out because they need to lay out for a little bit before I start the process.
After you lay all your knits in the snow, you want to make sure that you firmly press them down. And you can see me here starting that process of pressing my knits into the snow, just so that they make contact everywhere before I covered the fronts with snow. This is also a good time to really inspect your knits and see if there are any stains or problem areas that you really want to focus on. My love note had some staining on the front, which I was surprised actually came out after I was done this whole process.
So here are all my knits laid out. I have my love note here, who needs a washing. I just acquired this while I was in Italy. My sister-in-law gifted me an Agni, I think it's pronounced Agnet cardigan. So she's getting a little clean. My Stockholm slipover and my Louvre sweater. Now my Louvre and the cardigan are only getting washed because I wore them on the plane back. So I want to kind of freshen them up. So here they are before I cover them with snow and then let them get to snow temperature or like ambient temperature before I start the actual washing process. Okay, so everyone's covered in snow now. I'm going to go take a walk for 30 minutes and then come back and we're going to do the fun part. I wanted to take a second to just sit down and reflect on the past year and the year that we are in now. The beginning of the year is a great time to start new habits, and I think one of mine is going to be finding more gratitude in my day-to-day, being grateful for what I have and stop looking at what I don't have. I think in our society these days, we get really caught up on not having the newest phones, the newest car, the coolest clothes, the best job, the most money. It's always a lack, but we don't take the time to look at what we already have. And I think that's really important. Your life could be so much easier if you just take a moment to slow down and just be like, wow, I'm just grateful for the breath in my lungs, or for my sight, or for the feeling to feel cold, you know? And I'm thinking about that as I'm sitting out here in the snow, super grateful that I have this outside area to meander around in, and realizing that I don't come out here enough. It's literally right behind my house. And a lot of people would go crazy for this, but when you have it, you take it for granted. And then when you don't have it, you want it. So I think what I'm just trying to say right now is just take a moment and reflect on all the things you have at the beginning of 2025. And instead of looking at the things that you don't have, reflect on what you do and then try to make those things better instead of trying to grasp for something that you don't even know if you want yet. So that's all I'm saying. I don't know if that makes much sense, but I had to get it out because it was on my mind, and I felt like sharing it with you guys because that's why I made this channel, to sit and talk. And I hope that we can reflect together on what we want and what we have. So in the comments, tell me what you're grateful for. It could be the smallest thing. Just let me know in the comments. And if you like this type of content, I don't know, thumbs up the video. Give me a like, subscribe, and keep coming back so that I know that this is working, that y'all are seeing me, and so that I can see y'all. Peace for now. So I'm back, It is more than a half an hour later, but I got distracted walking around and just enjoying this weather. But now it's time for the fun part of beating these guys clean. So I'm gonna do that and then do a little voiceover. I have a little friend, by the way. Look at this guy. Hello.
So this is the part of the process that is the most fun, but also the most exhausting, especially if you use a broom like I did to beat my knits. If you have clean shoes, you can also just stomp around on your knits and it will do the exact same thing. But of course, make sure whatever you're using is clean because you don't want to press dirt back into the object that you're trying to clean. So the reason why you want to do this step is essentially the smacking or beating of the knit is doing the same thing that agitation would do in the washing machine when you wash clothes. You're loosening the dirt out of the fibers of the fabric and it's going into the snow and essentially cleaning your object without the use of water. So you want to make sure that it's actually cold. You don't want to do this process when the snow is slushy. So anything higher than 25 degrees when the snow might melt is not the time you want to do this process. Depending on how dirty your woolens are, it will depend on how long this process takes. And you can take your time to really focus on those problem areas that I mentioned before to make sure that you pull stains out because they will, in fact, come out. And you're also freshening your knits. They will smell like fresh wool when you're done. And you want to make sure that you do this process on both sides. So after you're done beating the one side, you flip it over, shake the snow out, and do it all over again. Did I mention that this is a good way to get out some frustration? It's kind of satisfying being out here in the snow, just smacking your knits. And thank goodness my backyard is closed because my neighbors probably would have thought that I was extremely strange. But I think they think that already anyway, so who cares? So smack away. Also, take the time to go in and do this by hand. You can focus on areas a little bit more controlled. And because there is no water, you don't have to really worry about your objects felting. After you're done beating all your woolens and making sure they are as clean as you can get them, you want to shake out as much snow as possible. And then for me, I decided to hang my garments up instead of bringing them inside, because if you bring them inside, they will get wet. For whatever leftover snow is left on will melt on the object, which will give you a longer drying time, and you just need the space to lay them out. If you hang your garments up outside, the snow will sublimate off and they will essentially be dry in a matter of no time. I ended up doing a mixture of both because it started snowing again And so I had to bring them inside because I didn't want snow just resting on top of my knits on the line. What I really enjoyed about this process is that my wools definitely do smell refreshed. They smell like clean wool mixed with a little bit of snow. And that's nice because I do wear perfumes and scented things, and some of these garments had those ambient scents still left in them, and they were completely removed and replaced with the natural scent of the wool of the sweater after doing all this. And here you can see my love note was probably the most problematic of all my garments that I did today. And I'm expecting it just to see if the stains that were there came out, and in fact they were gone. And I was kind of shocked and impressed. So I will definitely be doing this again. Of course, I think the longer the stains stay in, the harder they will be to get out. These were kind of fresh on this garment, so it didn't take a lot of work to actually get them out. If you made it this far, thank you so much for being here and watching this video. In the comments, let me know if you've ever tried washing your garments with snow before. Or if you haven't, are you looking forward to the next time you get snow to try it out yourself? I will say that I'm definitely going to do this again with some of my other woolen garments the next time that we get snow this winter. I look forward to our next time where we get to hang out. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe so that YouTube knows that you want to see more of this type of content from me and from other creators. Hope you've all had a wonderful and blessed beginning to the new year, and talk to you soon. Ciao.